Let's move over to the story next. Ahead of President Cyril Ramaphosa's presidential Imbizo today in Limpopo Sekhukhune region, residents say they remain doubtful that their water woes will be addressed. Despite parts of the region being home to large dams such as the Hoop and Flag Boshielo, the mainly rural region has historically been plagued by water challenges.
Golden hour in Mostorlos, the hour creating an illusion that all is well. However, on top of this mountain, failure abounds. This water reservoir incomplete and beginning to show signs of decay. According to residents in this area, the structure cost over 30 million rands, but not even a single pipe is connected.
They said they're going to bring water to Ward 19, and indeed the contractor came in 2011, and they came and started laying pipes, but didn't finish. Those guys took 13 million. Then a second contractor came. They said to complete the work. However, they came and got paid 8 million. A third contractor came who was 8 million, but even to this day, there's no water.
Over the years, many water projects have been commissioned in Sekhukhune to ease residents' water challenges. However, few have seen water reaching the taps of homes. The most recent one, the 2 billion rand Loskop Dam bulk water project. While millions have already been spent, pipes can still be seen on the side of the road. Beneficiaries are not so confident that the water project will quench their thirst.
The pipe is 2004.
Our only concern is water shortage, which we drink water with the animals and we buy water from those people who are selling water. We buy water with the amount of money that we can't even afford.
As residents bemoan their water challenges despite several bulk water projects underway, the ANC and the region says that not all is lost and that there is a ray of light at the end of the tunnel.
There seems to be improvement. I was given report sometimes last week that they are busy now with the drilling of boreholes, which we directed the municipality to drill borehole as temporary relief to this problem, mates. And I'm quite impressed that they've started somewhere around this side, they've been busy the whole of last week, and this coming week they're also busy going village to village and trying to assist our communities with this thing of water. I just hope that they will keep the pace that they've started with in trying to resolve this issue of water.
The announcement of the president's Imbizo has seen the area turning into a hive of activity. From local, provincial and national authorities, all are crisscrossing the region this week. Opposition party in the region, the EFF, is skeptical of the visit by President Cyril Ramaphosa.
The visit by the president is another campaign strategy for the ANC, because remember, at some point, Sekhukhune was declared a nodal point by the ANC. Till today, Sekhukhune still doesn't have water, still dry, and now they are saying the president is coming. We don't expect anything from the president. Actually, they are launching their campaign strategy for 2024 using government resources. It's not an outreach program, it's just a campaign for the ANC.
Another opposition party says they hope the presidential visit will unlock service delivery.
We hope the president, while he's coming here, the issue of factions will finish, because it's delaying a service delivery. Look, for the past 2 years, we were unable to spend our money in the municipality. Now it's a problem at all. Now we hope so-called district development model that they're trying to implement, it will work. But with the same people, we doubt that it will work. Now our hopes while the president is coming here is that maybe something will happen after the president leaves.
With the Sekhukhune district having changed mayors 3 times in less than 24 months, it is expected that stabilizing leadership in the area will also be a point of interest for the president. 3 names were submitted to the Provincial Executive Committee last month after the region announced that the current mayor was merely an interim mayor. The previous mayor, Julia Matebe, was forced to step aside because of pending VBS fraud-related charges. Mahlako Komane, SABC News, Sekhukhune in Limpopo.
Well, President Cyril Ramaphosa will today host the latest episode of the presidential Imbizo I Sekhukhune in Limpopo under the theme, Leave No One Behind. The gathering is an opportunity for communities to engage the government directly and receive responses. SABC News reporter Mahlako Komane is on the story and now joins us live from Motodi Sports Complex. Mahlako, good morning and thank you so much for making time for us. So some of the concerns that have been raised by the residents in that package that you have compiled, these concerns have been there for years, Mahlako, and I remember even the conversations that you and I used to have in the newsroom about the lack of water in the area, but also the poor quality of that water.
Yes, good morning, Eldrin. Just to correct that, we're actually on the R37, which is one of the roads that leads in and out of this Begasfort area, the Dubatse area. There's a lot of construction that's happening here. This road has also just been under construction for quite some time. Back to the issue or the question that you just asked me, and what you're quite correctly saying, we had spoken about, the issue of water, the quality of water, Eldrin. Quite correctly, it's an issue that's quite close to my heart because, water is historic here. The challenges of water, quite historic. The quality as well. I mean, you have certain parts of the Sekhukhune region. For example, if you look towards, in fact, within the Sekhukhune region, it's made up of 4 districts or 4 municipalities, which would be Mutubatse, which is currently where we're at, where the Imbizo will be taking place today. And then you move, the next one would be Makudu Tamaga, which would be around that Jane First area, Mtlelezi area, that's Makudu Tamaga. Then you move towards Ephraim Mokhale, that's around the Marble Hall area. And there's also Elias Muswaledi, that would be the Motse East, the Motse West area. You'd remember, Eldrin, not so long ago during COVID-19, the then Minister of Water, the Minister of Water, which was Ms. Lindiwe Sisulu, had given, I think, 143 million rand, if I remember correctly, for water relief project, a drought relief, a Motse drought relief project within that particular area, because historically there are challenges of water within that particular area. But over and above that, parts of that area, historically, the water that was being taken out from the groundwater, was water that resulted in a lot of people within that Motse East area suffering from what you would call what is called fluorosis, where you would see the decay of teeth and people having brown teeth, discolored teeth because of that. Those are just some health issues, speaking on the quality of that water. But even some of the water, when you drink it, Eldrin, you can taste that this water is not the very best of water. So yes, the issues of water, historic. However, when you drive around the project, this district or this region, you find like huge rivers. For example, here where we are, there's the Dubatse River. Not so far from that is the Hoop Dam. That's currently there. Various bulk water projects that have been undertaken over the years trying to address this issue of water. But in conversations that I've had, because I think every time I see Minister Senzo Mkhunu, my thing is, hey, when is water coming to school? That is the conversation we're always having. And he, had assured me that there is a Losco bulk water project that would move towards Mpumalanga as well. That's also expected to feed some parts of the Mpumalanga project, the Mpumalanga province. I think it's the JS Muroka or the Tembisi Lehani municipality there. However, he had told me that all things were going fine and things were going on. However, I drove there because I wanted to see what is it that's happening, because this is the second time they attempt to bring water that side. The pipes are still outside, Eldrin. There's still pipes that are lying around, and I think maybe perhaps that's where residents are coming from, saying that they're not really hopeful that they're going to see this issue of water. But let's take it out of the water. We do know that this Dubatse area is earmarked for that special economic zone. It's one of the areas in the country, but specifically in the province. We know the Makado corridor, but here within the Dubatse region, there's that particular issue. I think what they're trying to do is maximize or see how they can best use this area, which is is quite rich in minerals. I think this year, 2023, they were projecting, mining to bring in, mining to account for about 16 billion plus of money that would come out in the economy in terms of what it brings into the economy in this particular region. So that's about 16 billion rand. So there's lots of mines here. So in trying to create that special economic zones, we're hoping one of the issues that will be addressed as they try and do this with the Imbizo, and I know some locals that we'd also spoken to, is the issue of connectivity. Aldrin, I was here on Wednesday. In almost the entire day, there was no network. You couldn't make a call, you couldn't receive a call, you couldn't send an email or anything like that, because there was, irrespective of the network that we had, those type of issues of connectivity within the Sekhukhune region, not necessarily only in Tubatha. I only speak for Tubatha because this is where I had found myself unable to have any form of communication, because there was just no, connectivity of any kind. So issues of how are they going to deal with infrastructure like that. Also, I spoke about the R37 earlier on, Eldrin, this big road that is leading into and out of the region. When will it be complete? I mean, are projects being completed on time? Is it, are they efficient in terms of the money that's spent on these projects, but also the time? I mean, we've been on this R37 for quite some time now. It's just been under construction. It's normally a mess here in the morning, Aldrin, in terms of traffic, people, I suppose, going to mines and so forth and other places of employment trying to use this, because this is one of the main roads. So there's quite a lot of issues that, people saying that they'd want to raise at that Imbizo. I also know the issue of artisanal mining or low-scale mining, Eldrin, where we had seen the portfolio committee had come into the area. It was last year, if memory serves me correctly, and they'd said that the phenomena that they were getting in Sekhukhune was that a lot of the illegal mining here was done by locals, because they felt that the issue of getting the licenses, the mining licenses, was not being fast-tracked enough. So the portfolio committee then saying to us that those are the issues that they were going to report back to in Parliament and see how they can best, ensure that these artisanal miners are able to get the necessary, permits or licenses to be able to legally participate in that economy. But also traditional authority or traditional leadership also quite a big, plays quite a big role in the day-to-day lives of the people of Sekhukhune. So it will also be quite interesting. We know some chiefs coming, they had called in the regional secretary of the ANC to deal specifically with the issue of water, saying that their communities they're not happy within their communities or the communities in which what they oversee or they rule over, saying that their communities are struggling over, on the issue of water. It's not, in all the four municipalities of this particular region, water, I suppose, high up there, because it is, a basic necessity, Eldrin.
Yeah. And just a final one. About 2 years ago, there were issues that were raised around the state of healthcare in the province, and specifically on the Sekhukhune district. We were told that there are about 7 hospitals, and only one of those hospitals were actually in, quote, good health. What's the status of those hospitals now, and are residents raising any concerns around healthcare systems within the district?
Aldrin, in terms of the state of healthcare within this region, there's one particular hospital here. I remember having sat at a briefing the first 100 days in office of the mayor of Sekhukhune, telling us, in fact, it was a question that I did ask, what is happening in the hospital, I think if I remember correctly, because that was one hospital that was newly built, Aldrin, but it was still relying on getting water from Jojo tax. I mean, they're spending quite a lot of money, on that. But also when you look, I know one hospital also that is quite, it's always in the news for one or the other reason, is the Philadelphia Hospital in that Motse region as well. Informal chats that you'd have, Eldrin, with people in an area, just to get an understanding of what is going on. I mean, a lot of residents not necessarily happy with
what is going on there in terms of those particular hospitals that I had mentioned. But residents, for now, the issue that Eldrin, that I did pick up in terms of what people want to know, it would be that issue of the water issue, as well as the mining / employment, because I suppose the two one just cannot go without the other. Healthcare, I'll actually be listening in to see will this be an issue that they are hoping to raise, but also other things like crime as well. Remember that the NPA at one point had launched a center also, if I'm not mistaken, here within the Sekhukhune region, because it's really becoming the issue of GBV becoming quite an issue here. So I know some groups also here wanting to raise that issue as to policing. I mean, there's one police station, for example, in the Skinot area, just before Jane First, depending on which direction you are coming from, where the entire police station, Eldrin, relies on a cell phone. So if I, as a resident, want to make a call to that particular police station, I need to make a call on their cell phone. So if there's no service, like the situation that I was, elaborating earlier on of what happened in this particular area on Wednesday, where there was just no service, you are unable to make a call, meaning even the police themselves at that particular police station will not be able to receive any phone call. And it's a police station that services quite a lot of villages. So it's those type of issues as to what are they hoping to see happening. Also, I think the issue of other forms of service delivery over and above the water. You would know that, if you've driven around here, a lot of some of these roads, potholes on pothole on pothole, but also sometimes even new roads. So the quality of workmanship that contractors are handing over to government, to some of the issues that I know some residents really want to talk about, as to, you've just built us this road, however, you might as well go swimming in that road, because there would be so many potholes. But also, Eldrin, leading up to this Imbizo, this presidential Imbizo that's taking place at Motodi, I've never seen so many blue lights in this region, and it's a region that I travel quite extensively when we work. It's really been busy, ministers checking on projects, MECs checking on projects. And when you just engage residents, okay, so you're seeing movement, a lot of them saying that we'll never see them again after this. This is just for them just to look good in front of the president. Yesterday I took a stop on my way to an area here, township called Practice here, just to get a feel with residents. Hi, how are you? What's going on? And a lot of them saying this place is normally dirty, or there'll be a lot of rubbish on the road. However, today, because we are seeing that the first citizen will be in our backyard, there's cleaning campaigns, and indeed you saw people cleaning. I'd never seen it as well in the times that I do happen to come here. So it's quite, I think, a mixed bowl of feelings and reactions from residents, but quite interesting. I think what will be quite interesting is the issues that they will be raising at Motodi Sports Complex. But I can tell you, right now, Eldrin, that the water issue is going to take center stage. You'll also recall that when the National Working Committee was here, the Secretary of the NC, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, did say that they're quite aware that water in Limpopo, wherever they were, they had gone that time, water was an issue, was an issue that they were going to have to address. He was also saying that Minister Senzo Mkhunu, who is responsible for water, really was working quite hard at ensuring that they're able to resolve that particular issue, Eldrin.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mahlako Komane there, who will be following up on the presidential Imbizo as the president is expected to arrive there. And as you're speaking, I was just reminded of what the president said when he went to the Imbizo in Mpumalanga, where he said that he's told by residents that as soon as before he is about to arrive, there's all of these cleaning campaigns that happen, and just to make sure that when the president gets there, it gives the impression that everything is in order. And of course, the other thing is that this presidential Imbizo taking place in Sekhukhune comes just days after the police there in Limpopo confirmed that 3 trucks were satellite, and they are part of the 21 trucks that have been satellite since Sunday.